Today, first of all, good morning. Mazel tov, Yehuda. Today, we're holding in Pirkei Avot, Pirkei Mishnah Yudalid. Amen. Enjoy your breakfast. We're holding Pirkei Mishnah Yudalid.
Is this Pirkei Avot?
Pirkei Avot, yeah. We're gonna study today a very interesting idea, as we'll see in Rabbeinu Yona momentarily. The difference between somebody who seeks out mitzvot, meaning he pursues mitzvot, and somebody that just does mitzvot when they come to his hand. We'll see. When he has the opportunity, he does. You also have some people who love mitzvot, that they run after mitzvot. Right? Like you. They run after mitzvot. The Mishnah says a very vague idea, but it says like this. Let's read the Mishnah and then we'll see what Rabbeinu Yona adds to understand properly. Arba midot be'olchei lebeit ha-midrash. There are four characters of people who go to the Beit Midrash in relation to the Beit Midrash. Okay? Four types of people. Holech ve'eno oseh. So the first type is somebody that goes to the Beit Midrash ve'eno oseh. What do you mean? What does eno oseh mean? He doesn't do. He doesn't do what? Doesn't mean he doesn't do. So we're going to have to see what that means. Simply put, it would appear either he doesn't learn Torah or he doesn't do the mitzvot. So is that worth something? Means the fact that he goes to the Beit Midrash but he doesn't perform. Is that valuable or is that completely invaluable? Is that not considered valuable? What would you say? Is it valuable? Yeah. It's still valuable. Why is it still valuable?
Because it's a good place to be.
At least he goes to the Beit Midrash, exactly. Ashrei yoshvei veitecha, we say, is fortunate is the one who sits in your house. That's the house of Hashem. So the Mishnah does tell us, Sechar alicha biyado. He gets reward for going. It's true, he doesn't do, now we have to see what that means, do exactly. Face value would appear he doesn't study Torah, or he doesn't do the mitzvot, but at least he goes, and that's valuable. So he gets the reward for going. Now, oseh ve'eno holech, the Mishnah continues and says, what if you have somebody, he does, but he doesn't go? What do you mean he does, but he doesn't go? So seemingly it would mean he doesn't go to the Beit Midrash, but he learns Torah, or he does mitzvot. He just doesn't go to the Beit Midrash. He doesn't study. So schar ma'aseh biyado. He doesn't go to the Beit Midrash. He still gets rewarded for his ma'aseh, for whatever he's doing. Means there's essential validity or significance in that also. So schar ma'aseh biyado. He gets the reward for whatever it is that he's doing. Good morning. That's number two. Number three, olech ve'oseh. This is obviously the highest level. Somebody that goes to the Beit Midrash and he performs. He does. Meaning he studies Torah, he does the mitzvot. We'll have to see exactly what it means in a minute. So such a person, the Mishnah says, is chassid. Such a person is considered a chassid, a pious person, a very lofty person, because he not only goes, but he also performs. And finally, the fourth example, the fourth category is lo holech velo oseh. Doesn't go to the study hall, doesn't go to the Beit Midrash, and he doesn't perform. So what's that person called? Rasha. He's a wicked person. Okay? So again, let's run through that outside. We have category number one. We have four, the Mishnah introduces four characters of people in terms of going to the Beit Midrash. One person goes, but he does not perform, so he gets reward for going. Another one performs, but he does not go. Bakasha. He gets reward for performing. Someone who does both, he's a chassid. Someone that does neither is rasha. Okay. Now, all of the Rishonim here deal with the obvious difficulty here is you have to clarify what does it mean you go to the Beit Midrash and you do or you don't do. Usually when people go to the Beit Midrash, they're doing something there, they're studying. So to say it means you don't do anything, you just sit around, that'd be a little bit of a difficult idea. Rabbeinu Yona takes it even a step further, as we'll see in a minute. Rabbeinu Yona says, if the pshat is he doesn't perform at all, meaning he just goes into the Beit Midrash, he studies, but he does not practice what he preaches. He doesn't practice what he studies. Actually, we're going to see somebody who does that is actually a rasha. So that can't be the pshat. Just one second. That can't be the pshat in holech ve'eno oseh. The simple pshat, Rabbeinu Yona says, it would appear holech ve'eno oseh means he goes to learn Torah, but he does not perform what he learned. Okay, so he learns about tefillin, and then he does not put on tefillin. Rabbeinu Yona is going to show us a source in Shas, where the Gemara tells us somebody that does that is a rasha. If you learn something, and then you don't perform it, you're considered wicked. So that can't be schar halicha biyado. That can't be somebody that gets rewarded. That's totally inappropriate. Let's read Rabbeinu Yona inside, and he categorizes for us these 4 categories a little bit differently. Very interesting, Rabbeinu Yona. So I'm going to read it. We'll follow along, listen along. The Mishnah, Rabbeinu Yona says like this: Arba midot b'olchei beit hamidrash holech ve'eno oseh. So we had category number 1. The first category is somebody that goes to the Beit Midrash ve'eno oseh, but he does not perform. So we said schar halicha biyado. Such a person gets rewarded for going. Goes, at least he goes. So Rabbeinu Yona says, first of all, don't get confused what it's not. Ein perusho she'eno oseh klal mikol ma sheshama bebeit hamidrash ve'eno mekayem mitzvot. It does not mean that he studies and then he does not perform the mitzvot that he studied. She'im kain, because if that was true, rasha gamorhu, that's a totally wicked person. You learn about tefillin and then you don't put on tefillin. You learn about Shabbat and you desecrate Shabbat. Right? That's impossible. That's rasha gamor. Ki ein resha, it's a big yesod. Ki ein resha ba'asiyat averot bilvad. It's not only wicked when we do averot, ki gam hanimnami la'asot hamitzvot nikra rasha. Also, if somebody refrains from doing mitzvot, now if he doesn't know about it, he doesn't know about it. But if he studies and then he refrains from doing, he does not do the mitzvot, that's also a rasha. V'im eino oseh lo mitzvot v'lo averot rasha gamorhu. It's not enough in life just to say, I'm not going to do averot, but I'm also not going to do mitzvot. That's a rasha gamor. If we're not, it's also rasha gamor.
That's worse than rasha.
I guess
Rasha, you say it's only the one that didn't do, but this one
no.
doesn't even do averot. So why is rasha?
Well, here it's that he knows what he's supposed to do. He studied the material, and he says, even so, I'm not going to do. It's terrible. That's bad.
Rasha.
It's rasha gamor. Saying that's rasha gamor.
So, Rabbi, for example...
Well, let me just finish 1 second. Ve'al zeh amru Yerushalmi, the Gemara Yerushalmi, Masechet Brachot says as follows: Halomed ve'eno oseh. So we're talking about here. He studies a topic, and then he does not perform that topic. Now, again, we don't mean over here he made a mistake, or we're talking about he studied putting on tefillin. I'm not putting on tefillin. Okay. Noach lo shene'epcha shel yato al panav v'lo yatsa la'avir ha'olam. The Gemara Yerushalmi says it's better that he would have died during a childbirth, that the placenta covers his mouth and he doesn't go out into the world. Meaning, to study a topic and then not perform, you're a wicked person. So therefore, you can't explain that when it says Olech lebeit hamidrash ve'eno oseh, that it means he studied something and then he doesn't perform, because that's a rasha gamor. There's no schar halicha biyado that he gets rewarded. What's your question, Eliezer?
No, Rabbi, I was just thinking about when you do kiruv, because, for example, you have a friend that doesn't do anything.
Hello.
And you try to explain him, hey, look, the halacha is this and this.
Right.
Before he didn't know.
Right.
Now he knows.
Right.
So it becomes a worse rasha. Or
So you want to try to introduce him to things as he could perform them, probably. Right. At least he should be aware. I mean, if he's aware, maybe he'll do. Otherwise, I don't know. There's a concept of Shabbat. Maybe he doesn't even know.
How are you?
Ach perusho. So the Rabbeinu Yona says this is the pshat in the Mishnah. Holech ve'eno oseh schar licha biyado. What does it mean? She'eno chozer achareim la'asotam. We're talking about somebody, he goes and he studies Torah. He doesn't actively seek mitzvot. So what does it mean? If a mitzvah comes his way, he'll do a mitzvah. But it means holech ve'eno oseh means he doesn't perform. It means he doesn't seek out. He doesn't try to do more mitzvot. If it comes my way, I'll do it. But to go look to do more mitzvot, like certain people here, that's a different story. That's not what this person is doing. If it comes to his hand, he does them. He does them in a random sort of way, not a permanent sort of way.
That's rasha or what?
No. Because he's going in the insignificant things of the world. It's not a rasha. He still gets zachar. So we're talking about a person, says Rabbeinu Yona, he studies Torah. Okay? If a mitzvah comes his way, he's going to do the mitzvah. So he's not a rasha, but he doesn't actively seek out mitzvot. So he shows that he values mitzvot to a degree, but he's not pushing to do more. So such a person, schar licha biyado, he studied, he does good, he's still going to get some reward, but that's not the highest level, obviously. Now let's go to the second category. It's also very interesting. He does, but he doesn't go. So he gets rewarded for doing. So says Rabbeinu Yona, what is that referring to? He doesn't study. So he doesn't know the details of the mitzvot. Meaning, he doesn't go to study, so he doesn't know all the details. He doesn't know the fine print necessarily.
Like me.
Hold on. You come to study. You're studying right now. He knows them in some sort of a minimal way. What he knows, what he learned, what he heard, etc. So he gets rewarded for that performance. Meaning you have another type of person. He doesn't necessarily dedicate himself to intensive study. He knows a little bit, and according to what he knows, he performs. So at least he's performing, so he gets rewarded for that performance. Fine. That's the second category. Third category, we said, holech ve'oseh. He goes and he performs. That's chassid, said in the Mishnah. So Rabbeinu Yona says, this is as opposed to the first category. Shechozer achar hamitzvot umedaktek bahem bechol hadiktukim v'achumrot sheyedav yuchal la'asot. He pursues mitzvot. He chases after mitzvot to fulfill them in every detail that he can do. Ulifnim mishurat hadin, even beyond what's expected. So this is a person, holech v'oseh. He studies and then he wants to even do more. He doesn't just do what comes to the opportunities that he has. He even pushes to do more. That's a chassid. And the fourth category, lo holech v'lo oseh, rasha. So if he doesn't study and he doesn't do them either, that's a rasha, we said. He not only doesn't pursue mitzvot, even if a mitzvah comes his way, he won't end up performing them. So that's considered a rasha. Not only does he denigrate, he doesn't chase after mitzvot to show how he values them, but on top of that, if he has the opportunity to do a mitzvah, comes his way, it's given to him on a silver platter, still he says, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to leave it and not do that mitzvah. So Rabbeinu Yona is explaining these four categories or character types. Again, the first one is somebody he studies, at least he studies, and then if he has an opportunity to do a mitzvah, he does, so he gets rewarded for at least going to study and for what he does. The second person, he doesn't necessarily increase his study, but if he has a mitzvah, he'll do it, and that's significant according to his limited knowledge. That's okay. There's schar in that, there's a reward in that. The third is somebody who studies and tries to be as careful as possible with all of the details. That's a chassid. That's a very high level. Baruch Hashem, we're all chassidim here, Yosef, eh? And then the fourth category we have is somebody that not only doesn't study, doesn't care, he doesn't pursue mitzvot, and he doesn't even do them when they come his way. So that's, unfortunately, that's categorized as rasha. That's a wicked person. Baruch Hashem, ba'amech kulam tzadikim, like we say. And we don't have to worry about those categories. We need to think of that. Stop here, Chavra. Pick up tomorrow.